Plaintiff Raven Ketchum says the defendant was best friends with her mom, but after her mother passed away, she moved in with the defendant. Raven says after they started living together, the defendant became obsessed with her, and Raven suing for unpaid traffic tickets. Defendant Theodora Kenya Green says after she took Raven into her home, she assaulted Theodora with a vase. Theodora insists Raven is suing for tickets that she did not get, and she's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Miss Green has been like an auntie to me. She's my mom's best friend. Back in 2007, my mom passed away. So around 2008 or so, Miss Green suggested that we become closer. So around that time, she asked me to move in with her. So I agreed, and shortly after that, she became quite obsessive, like the Single White Female, the movie. Quite obsessive.
Can I stop right there?
Quite obsessive.
Okay, right. Okay. Now, if caring about Raven is loving her like a niece, Raven was, because I helped her get through high school. Everywhere I went, because it's more than just her, it's two more of them. Everywhere I went, I made sure I had two more other bedrooms.
You wanted that.
Okay, exactly. Because I wanted to put a roof over her head, her sister's head,
Young lady,
and
don't get
her
smart and
brother's
ungrateful.
head.
She could have thrown you in the foster home. Go ahead, ma'am. She could have thrown you with some strangers who didn't know you and who wouldn't care about you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, it's not that I do not
You're not
love.
gonna let some ungrateful kid come in here and talk to you like this. Go right ahead.
It's not that I do not love I don't love my niece, but even now she brings me up in here. See, back in early in 2010, we got into a physical altercation.
How?
Raven put her hands on me.
Kenya, you're lying. You caused.
Be quiet.
Okay.
Be quiet.
The thing is, I don't even want to bring this up right now.
What is wrong with you? You are disrespectful and
lying.
ignorant. I'm gonna tell you again. You're acting ignorant.
I'm not even gonna say nothing.
You're acting ignorant.
Okay. Well, let's get past that.
No. I want to hear about this fight.
Okay.
You say she assaulted you.
Yeah, this wasn't the first time. This last summer, Raven busted the back of my head with a vase in my house because...
I mean, what led up to these?
Because I asked her to give me my bus pass, and instead of her giving me my bus pass in my hand, she threw it on the floor. And I got upset, and I said, Raven, you don't have to treat me like that. So I did get up in her face, and I got... No, I did not go... The reason I did not go to the hospital, Your Honor, is because Raven is in a field. If I would have pursued going to the hospital, they would have wanted to know who did this to me, where I got the stitches from, how did I get the stitches, and me and her in a similar field, and she is in a field where she has a promising future. I don't want to stifle her going further in her career. I don't have kids like that of my own, so I said, well, if you need to come to my house, come to my house, stay, do what you can, help me, and then move on. Raven was everyone knew she was my favorite. They say you pay with a dog, they lick your mouth. Well, she's licking the hell out of my mouth right now, because there's no reason why she be sitting up here in front of you stating, just putting our whole life out for everybody to see.
Well, she sounded like you somehow have mistreated her when you extended your hand. That's why I wanted to hear your version, because she acted very ungrateful. And had a very negative attitude towards you. And she, by her own admission, said that when her mother died, you took her in. That's why I'm saying that. And I'm not going to let her talk to you like that and behave like that in my courtroom after all you've done for her. Now, I'm not saying you didn't run up these traffic tickets. You may have done all of that. But I'm not going to let her disrespect you in here.
Plaintiff Raven Ketchum is suing her deceased mother's best friend, who claims Raven assaulted her with a vase after she took her into her home.
How does she owe you for traffic tickets?
She bought a vehicle from my cousin in like late October 2010. She couldn't get the vehicle in her name. So she kept asking me constantly, but I said no. So I finally said yeah. When she began getting the tickets in 2011, around March
of
she
11.
paid about 2 of them. She was paying it off like 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then she continued to get them because she likes to pay the meter, so she continued to get them. And like now, it wasn't an issue at first, but now I want a car, so it's an issue. And I keep asking her when she's gonna pay. She say when she get the money, but that turns into a lot. And then around that, and then she tried to sell me the vehicle for $300.
You have a list of the tickets she owes?
Yes.
And you see how cultivated you're acting? You would have still been acting ignorant if I hadn't come down on you. See,
That's how she make me get.
Well, no, don't let anybody
know
make
that's the
you
fun.
turn ignorant.
She knows that.
Well, you just maintain your dignity. All right, ma'am, let me hear from you. She shows me evidence
Okay.
of $1,326 worth of tickets.
No.
She let them double.
The 2 tickets she talked about, yes, that was for rent. I admitted
Hold
those
on.
2.
The tickets were for rent. You mean you deducted them from the rent?
Right. So
Okay.
those were covered as far as those are the only ones I was liable for.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Okay.
What time period did you have the possession of the car?
You mean
What month and year?
it was around November, January,
Of
February of this
11?
of 11.
All right.
Of 11.
And when did you stop?
Up until it got impounded,
When?
which was a month ago.
And it was impounded because of the tickets you
Because
put
of the
on
tickets,
it.
because Raven refused, because Raven is a diva.
Oh, because you refused to pay the tickets.
No, I had
They got
to.
to do with her.
I had
they didn't
to.
impound her car. They didn't know her. They didn't know
I
she
had
was a
to.
diva.
I had
They
to.
didn't come to her and say, hey, we're going to pound this car because Raven is a diva.
I had to.
You had the car during that time period.
Up until it got towed. A couple of days before it got towed, she was at the store. She didn't want to pay the meter, and her battery cut off because she didn't want to pay the meter. She had her blinkers on.
That is such a lie.
When did you first
you
take possession? We're talking possession.
Okay, let me choose my words right here. Raven, I sold Raven the car around
tried.
in January or February. She had $300. She gave me $150, one half, and $150 of that $300. The car, I gave her the keys. She had the keys.
When?
Around in February or March of
11.
this. What is this? 2011?
Yes.
Of this year.
All right.
Of this year.
Miss Green was just like right before the week it got towed. Miss Green was at the store.
Yes, I was in the car.
She knows.
But you didn't get a ticket in Walgreens. I was in the car because I left
Hold
Denise.
on.
Because I left
This is
Denise in the
my
car.
example, Judge Mathis. She don't like to pay the meter. That's the example.
Did you have the keys?
At the particular time we talking about at Walgreens?
Yes.
Yeah, I had the keys then, but she didn't get no ticket at that particular time because somebody
the
was in the
liquor
car.
off, 'cause you don't
How
like to pay the
often would
meters.
you have the keys during the period in question?
I would have the keys every blue moon. Raven will have the car because
For
more
what
than me.
month did
Okay.
you start blue mooning with the keys?
Okay.
See, the only way we can determine this
I see what
is
you're
to
saying.
know who had primary
I
possession.
have a letter from my
Okay,
cousin.
you know what?
And he sold her the
I had the
vehicle.
car then, fine. I had the car, but then Raven turned around and bought it for me, Judge Mathis, for $300.
When?
I take a polygraph for that.
When?
The Bible 300.
February.
No.
I'm gonna give you a window between January and March. She purchased that car
Kenya, you will only let me see the car for personal
because she was
reasons.
taking it going out to the gardens
Personal
almost
reasons.
every week because she got a little dip out there.
That's your issue. That's your issue. Always in my business.
See?
Always in my business.
Just
Her life
that,
revolves
as you
around
just
Raven.
said, ma'am, you wouldn't give her the car because she kept going out to the gardens
Right.
to see her piece.
Because
or
Eric-
gift, or what did you call
Right.
it? What did you call
My
it?
boyfriend. My boyfriend.
Right. Her boyfriend. So Raven had more access to the car than I did.
You just said that you were taking it from her.
No. What I'm trying, the reason why I sold her the car, A, she works, and B, she has a social life.
I
don't. So that's why I sold it to
You
her.
don't.
Well, I don't.
You better get out there to the gardens.
Well, me?
Yeah.
No, her.
That's my point.
Oh.
Sounds like she got a great social life, and you don't have one.
Right, and I'm okay
so you
with
better
that.
follow her.
No, because I'm doing something better. Because we ain't go into that. I'm okay where I'm at in my life right now.
Ma'am, the presumption is that the car was in your possession. You have double talked me about who had possession of the car. 1 minute she had possession, and the next minute you wouldn't let her have it because she was going to the gardens too much.
Okay,
But now you're backing up saying I sold it to her so she can get to work.
No, I'm saying, and in addition to. Not only because she can go socialize, so she in addition to. Because the car would just be sitting outside. And she would come to me and ask me, can I? I said, okay, why not?
Half of the time you say no.
The car would be sitting outside and you wouldn't
But this
use
wasn't, now this was back in like January.
You didn't double talk me enough. I'm not going to let you confuse me.
Plaintiff Raven Ketchum is suing her deceased mother's best friend, who claims Raven assaulted her with a vase after she took her into her home.
Your counterclaim for $500 for emotional distress is for what?
Actually, because when me and Raven are not talking, and when she hit me, and the verbal abuse and the physical abuse, that is hurtful.
Yep.
That was hurtful.
Let me hear from you on that.
That was hurtful.
It's equal. It's an argument. And
but let me tell you, Raven considered, now, regardless of what judgment you make, the last call is yours, Your Honor. Raven considered and say, I never called you the B word or the W word first.
It was
she
equal.
called me
You
that
say
one
first.
first.
No, honey.
And now, because I had to admit, I had to let her go as a little girl, because in my eyesight, she was a little girl to me that I did not want to let go. Now she is a full-grown woman, and as a full-grown woman, I will conduct business with her as such.
It was an argument, so it was like equal. It was back and forth, if you ask me. It was 50-50.
Young lady, I'm going to grant her judgment for emotional distress because I believe her. Your disrespectful ways here today have demonstrated that you are subject to have behaved in the way she says toward her, and therefore I'm going to grant her emotional distress, but I'm going to grant you your traffic ticket complaint. I believe that she owes you for that.
Thank you.
So 1326 minus 500 is what?
826.
That's what you're left with, 826. And anytime you're living with someone, you have to live under their rules, and you cannot get disrespectful. If you don't like the way things are going, what do you do?
Get out.
She don't know. See, she not answering. That you didn't even know.
It was 50-50.
No wonder y'all have a problem. You don't know what to do if you don't like
It was
the way
50-50,
somebody
and
else
she
is
act like a little kid.
It can't be
She know
no
that.
50-50. It's 100%. Because it's her place. Have a good day.
She don't get abused.
No, I don't know.
Once you hit me. You provoked me. You know you.
Well, I did provoke you, but you still.
And you hit me first. You always hit
I never hit you first, Raven.
You always hit me first.
We're not going to do this like we feed them other
You
people.
always hit me first.